My colleagues and friends here at Caravel Autism Health and Imagine out west, I just wanted to take a few moments to share with you how much I've appreciated serving with you these past 4.5 years as your client experience director. It has been a tremendous time of great growth and great learning. And this decision to retire of mine, or at least from full-time work, is one of not running away from Caravel Autism Health, but feeling good that Caravel Autism Health has strong leaders, strong systems, and the right foundations in place to aspire to grow even higher. And I'm very proud that I have been part of that and that it is where it is today, because I feel very comfortable saying it's not time for me to step back from full-time regular employment and pursue another passion of mine, which is helping to keep the doors of our local schools open by being a substitute teacher. This is the first time in more than 4 decades that I am not going to be in the full-time work world. So I've been thinking a lot about that this past month. And in the spirit of being a learning organization, we even call our clients learners. And in the spirit of pass it on, feeling like a bit of an elder statesman of sorts, being only months away from Medicare eligibility, I thought I would think deeply about what are the most important things that I've learned in leadership, and how can I distill those into 3 key points. And here's what I've come up with. First of all, there is an alternative definition for KPI. Second, candor with respect. And third, but the most important of all, the most important lesson I have learned in leadership. So let's talk about KPI, key performance indicators. Some organizations call them balanced scorecard, metrics, visual management boards. Here at Caravel, we call them KPIs. Well, every KPI is a number, and every number represents a person, a client, a staff, each other. What if we thought about KPIs as key people indicators? Because every person has a soul. And how would we shape our decision-making if we were thinking about our souls in our care, each other as souls, as so much more than numbers? True, we're wrapped up and excited when numbers hit a certain mark. And then we're disappointed if they don't. We shoot for the stars and we get to the moon. Do we always remember to celebrate that the moon is a pretty fine place? And while we didn't quite get to the stars, we have come a long way. The numbers represent people, and people have souls. How would you think differently about KPI if you replaced the word performance with people and started thinking of them as key people indicators? What are we doing with and for our people? Candor with respect. This is something I learned from a physician executive at a large healthcare system. He spoke of the need in times of turmoil for us to be able to surface and solve our problems, to make sure we could speak openly in an environment of trust, that we could trust each other to be respectful, that we wouldn't hide behind political or corporate correctness or company speak, but we would distill our thoughts simply and plainly, but also open our minds and hearts to listening to the varying views of others. Because through that listening, through that sharing of ideas, through working through conflict, we get to a much better, deeper, and richer place. And if we do it in an environment of candor with respect, it helps us to continue to all get along at the end of the day and share our thoughts and go a little bit farther with our collective thinking and wisdom. Third, the most important lesson I learned in leadership. I used to work for a Catholic healthcare system. And back in the old days, Catholic healthcare systems were individual hospitals, and the administrators were all nuns, the good sisters of a particular order. And so the hospital sisters ran the place until the 70s and 80s, when lay people came in, business people came in to be executives. But as we were hired out of the business world to come and serve in healthcare, part of our orientation involved meeting some of these former leaders, these nuns, who were now living in retirement in their mother houses. And we would go visit with them as part of our orientation to make sure we were grounded in the history and the mission of the Catholic healthcare system. So I had the opportunity to share lunch with my mentor, who was 90 years old, Sister Pat. And I asked her, Sister, what is the most important thing you learned in leadership? Love your people, she said. Love your people, advocate for them. Remember that their needs come first. Remember to be open and transparent and honest with them. You can't get them everything they may want, but you can always give them honesty. You can always give them truth. And you can always advocate for their needs in the arenas in which you are also a colleague leader. And make sure that they know that you've got their back so that they feel, yes, you are with us. And when you love your people, you go farther together when they feel that. And I think that that is probably one of the most important things I wake up and think about every day as a manager, as a director, as a leader. How am I loving my people today? And even if you don't directly supervise or manage people, who are your people that you love? They're your coworkers. They're the people you work with in the other department. How do you look at them and work with them in eyes of love? Because you're all together for a common purpose. Love your people. When you love your people, you love what you do. And when you love what you do, work's not work, it's fun. So I wanted to leave you with these three things. And in the spirit of candor with respect, talk about them, discuss them, agree, disagree, take things for what they're worth. Take what you like and leave the rest. But know that most of all, I will miss you and I will always carry you in my heart. Reach out to me now and then, and maybe I will do the same with you. Good luck and farewell.